Hey, what is up everyone? I'm RinkuTalks. In the last video, we completed Shai's Awakening questline and unlocked all 3 Awakening weapons. In this video, let's look at every single Shai Awakening skill, as well as the difference between the instruments. Also, I want to make it very clear that this is the global test lab, aka the test server, so all this is subject to change. And it turns out, after finishing this entire video, they did in fact change a lot. From making all 3 instruments into one weapon, to making the skills upgradable, which require more skill points and level 60 to get them all, to even getting rid of some skill animations and changing the skills entirely. However, I chose to still upload this video because this will show what Shai's Awakening was like when it was first put into the test server. It is beyond me why PA would change everything for the live game instead of putting it into the global test lab first, to be tested. But because it was put on the KR version of BDO before the global test lab, and because we are probably getting her Awakening on NA in the next updates, I will be waiting until the official release with English skill descriptions before I remake this video showcasing the new skills. PA has publicly posted that they wish to update and add to Shai's Awakening, or should I say talent, over time. So I hope this more historical video can help fuel future Shai talent suggestions, and I hope you enjoy the video. Starting with the skills, the actual effects they give should be the same no matter which instrument you have equipped. There are 11 Awakening skills, and if you have about 1,000 skill points, you can quite literally unlock every single pre-Awakening and Awakening skill without any problems. And, at least on the test server, you can get all of these skills at level 56. You don't even have to get to level 60, and there's no Black Spirit's Rage skills. Up first is our C swap. This is just like any other class. You hit C to go in and out of your Awakening. It has a 1-second cooldown, and unfortunately is one of the only ways to go in and out of your Awakening as a Shai. As of recording this, the only other way that I know of to go out of Awakening is by walking left or right and using right click to throw out your pre-Awakening orb skill. Here we have the E buff, which increases monster damage by 15 and special attack damage by 5%. Notice how I didn't say your monster damage because it affects everyone's monster damage. And this skill doesn't even say a maximum of up to 10 targets, so I'm assuming it's every friendly target in the area, if that's even possible. I'm not really sure, but it seems really cool. For the rest of the skills, we need to understand what a toggle skill is and how it works. Basically, a toggle skill is a song that will keep playing until turned off. You have to use the skill to toggle it on again, and then click to turn it off again. Some skill effects will activate immediately after being toggled on, and, while toggled on, will continuously refresh the effect of the skill used. While in other skills, you may have to wait for your summon to come out to receive the buff. The next skill is both a toggle skill and a summon. It increases attack speed, casting speed, and movement speed by 10% for 15 seconds on up to 10 targets. But the buff is only applied if you are in range of the Panther when it roars. This is a debuff toggle skill. It reduces all evasion by 10% for 10 seconds on up to 10 targets. Here is another debuff toggle skill. This one reduces all DP by 10% for 10 seconds on up to 10 targets. This is a very important toggle skill. It increases maximum health by 1,500 HP for 10 seconds on up to 10 targets. But keep in mind that this is a toggle skill. When reapplied, up to 10 targets, heal an additional 1,500 HP. Next is another toggle skill, which increases all resistance by 50% for 10 seconds on up to 10 targets. And another toggle skill, this time with a long cooldown. This increases the recovery rate of Black Spirit's Rage for 20 seconds on up to 10 targets. These last 3 skills are not toggles, but have some interesting CC effects. With this, I can hit enemies for damage and stiffnesses on up to 10 targets. I have to stand still, but if I hold the activation button down, I can continue to damage and stiffen enemies several times. Next, we have a bear that can stiffen up to 10 targets. The range of this stiffness is based on where the bear slams the ground. And finally, the last skill we're going to look at is our tree summon. Shai can summon this massive tree to throw rocks at people. I believe the rocks are supposed to do damage and CC with stiffness as well, however on the global test lab it currently does nothing. So you're probably wondering what the difference is between the 3 Awakening weapons or talent instruments for Shai. Well, here in the global test lab, we don't really know. The drums clearly seem to give attack speed when enhanced, which affects even your pre-Awakening skills. The loot enhancement effect apparently translates to minus all DR and evasion, which I believe is supposed to boost the effect of your awakening debuff skills, but I'm not really sure. And the flute? Well, it doesn't have any enhancement effects listed on it at all. What's even more strange is when you equip the flute, you get an all AP up symbol, even though you don't have any awakening AP. I've been told that the flute is supposed to strengthen your damaging awakening skills, like the tree summon. However, those skills are currently bugged and the flute doesn't seem to do anything, even when enhanced on the global test lab. What's also strange is when you cast your panther buff with the flute or drums, you have to stand in place for the first panther tick. Because if you start walking forward immediately, well, where is he? Where'd he go? Yeah, the panther doesn't activate until after when the first one would have came out. Whereas with the loot, we can cast it, walk forward immediately, he pops out, and he'll keep popping out just as fast, all the time. It should also be noted when you toggle a song on, the speed at which it reapplies the buff or debuff is affected by if you are moving or not. No matter which instrument you have equipped, after the first panther appears, all the others will appear faster when moving forward, versus just standing still. Look how fast that guy came out. I was just talking about how fast the loot is at bringing out the first panther, but if I just stand still, and the first one comes out, how long is it going to take for the second one to come out? Yeah, quite a while. Whereas if I just walk forward after, whenever he comes out, there he is, if we walk forward, the next one should just pop right out, like normal. The same speed as the drums, and the loot, and the flute. Walking forward applies the song more often than walking backwards, which applies the song more often than standing still. With all these instruments having different stat bonuses and the unique ability to change the mechanics of your awakening skills, I bet you're wondering which instrument you should reroll your dandy to. Well, Shais can't use dandies, and you might want to upgrade all 3 instruments. Shai's awakening is apparently not an awakening at all, but instead a talent, which basically just gives PA an excuse to do something different. Shai can actually quick slot all 3 instruments and can swap between them at any time while in the awakening combat stance. The upgradable Shai instruments are given to you at the end of the awakening questline, or should I say talent questline? And at least on the global test lab, these cannot be croned. On enhancement, the drums for example, give 11% attack speed at Tet, and 15% attack speed at Pen. The loot has the same percentages for minus damage reduction and evasion, but I'm unsure if it's currently working on the global test lab. And like I said earlier, for some reason, the flute has no visible description of anything being upgraded when enhanced. But we are days away from this awakening or talent to release on the live game, and I expect the flute to have meaning, the damaging skills to actually work, and for everything to be in English. On the global test lab, we even have things like this new pre-awakening skill. And while making this video, another awakening skill appeared, or talent skill, that's gonna be annoying. Problem is, it says press Q, but it doesn't do anything, and I can't read any of this. So that is where this video should probably end. I will be making more Shai videos after her talent is officially released. Oh, and I'm a Shai main now, so you can look forward to seeing my progress live on twitch.tv/RinkuTalks. I love you guys, and I'll see you next time.